Vranda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we continue the fourth canto, chapter 6. So in this particular chapter, what you saw so far is that when Sati, wife of Lord Shiva, ended her life by entering into the fire which was generated from the yogic samadhi, because Sati could not tolerate the fact that Lord Shiva was being insulted, Lord Shiva was being offended by Daksha Prajapati in that sacrifice. So Sati wanted to give up the body which was obtained from Daksha Prajapati. Sati was the daughter of Daksha. So Sati ended her life. When Lord Shiva came to know, Lord Shiva became very angry. And then he sent Veerabhadra and his different associates. And they came to the sacrifice of Daksha Prajapati. Veerabhadra killed Daksha. And whoever passively supported Daksha's offense to Lord Shiva, they were also punished by the associates of Lord Shiva. And the associates of Lord Shiva, they destroyed the sacrifice of Daksha. That is how the previous chapter, fifth chapter, we discussed. And then the sixth chapter began. Then all these Brahmanas and the Devatas who were part of the sacrifice of Daksha, they approached Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma chastised them, having offended a personality like Lord Shiva. What do you expect in your life? You deserve to undergo this. Like that, Lord Brahma spoke in a very straightforward way and he chastised them. But then Lord Brahma, for the welfare of the whole universe, he wanted to revive the sacrifice because it is meant for the welfare of the whole universe. So although he chastised the Devatas, he took the Devatas along with him and he told the Devatas, Lord Shiva is also such a personality that if you surrender to him and beg forgiveness from him without any reservation, Lord Shiva will definitely forgive you. Because he can be easily be pleased and he can also be easily be angered. So then Lord Brahma took all the Devatas and he came to the abode of Kailash, Lord Shiva's abode. There is the very detailed description of Kailash abode which we saw last time, last time. Last week we saw that when they arrived at the abode of Lord Shiva, how Lord Shiva was described in so many verses, 5-6 shlokas. Lord Shiva's complexion, how Lord Shiva was surrounded by personalities like Kubera, the four Kumaras, and by Narada Muni. That means Lord Shiva had both the material opulences and the spiritual opulences. And then when Lord Shiva saw Brahmaji, Lord Shiva, although he is so exalted, he immediately offered obeisances to Brahma because Brahma is the father of Lord Shiva. Just like Vamanadev offered obeisances to his father Kashyapa Muni. Although Vamanadev is the supreme personality of God at Vishnu and Kashyapa Muni is a Jivatma, but still, according to the role played by the Lord as the son of the Kashyapa, he offered obeisances to Kashyapa. That is the point we stopped last time. We'll continue from the 41st shloka today. Somebody can repeat after me. तथा परे सिद्धगणा महर्षिभिर्
तथा परिसिद्धगणा महर्षिभिर्
ये वै समन्तादनुनीललोहितम्
ये वै समन्तादनुलीललोहितम्
नमस्कृत प्राह शशाङ्कशेखरम्
नमस्कृतः प्राह शशाङ्कशेखरम्
कृत प्रणामं प्रहसन्निवात्मभूः
कृतप्रणामं प्रहसन्निवात्मभूः. Translation. All the sages who were sitting with Lord Shiva, such as Narad and others, also offered their respectful obeisances to Lord Brahma. After being so worshipped, Lord Brahma, smiling, began to speak to Lord Shiva.
तथा परे सिद्धगणाः महर्षिभिः ये वै समन्ताद् अनुनीललोहितम्. So there were many Siddhaganas. Siddhaganas are different personalities from Siddhaloka. And Maharishi, there were many sages were present. Samantad Anu Neela Lohitam. So along with this, all these great sages, many of the followers of Lord Shiva were present. And all these, when Lord Shiva offered obeisances to Brahmaji, Lord Shiva's followers, they also offered obeisances to Brahma. Namaskritaha Atmabhu. They had also offered obeisances to Brahma. Krita Pranamam Shashanka Shekaram Prahasan Niva. So when all the followers of Lord Shiva who also offered obeisances to Brahma after that, Lord Brahma smilingly started speaking to Lord Shiva. Prahasan Iva Aha. Prahasan Iva, with a smile on his face. Shashanka Shekaram. Shashanka Shekara is the name of Lord Shiva, just like Chandra Shekara. Shashanka is nothing but the Chandra. Shashanka Shekaram. Chandra Shekara is the name of Lord Shiva. Another name of Chandra is Shashanka. Shashanka Shekaram is also the name of Lord Shiva. So Shashanka Shekaram Prakasan Niva. So Brahmaji, with a smile in his face, he started speaking to Lord Shiva. So here one of the acharyas mentioned why Brahmaji started speaking and with a smile. So one of the acharyas say that Evam Tair Namaskritah Atmabhuhu. In this way, being offered respects to Lord Brahma, then Lord Brahma Devadinam Aparada Smaranena Tesham Lajjotpadanartham Prahasan Upahasamiva Kurvan Devaihi Kritaha Pranamo Yasmai Tam Shashanka Shekaram Shivam Prahasam. So the other devatas, they were feeling shy because they had also taken part in the offense committed to Lord Shiva. So the Devatas, the other people who came along with Lord Brahma, they were little shy of actually speaking to Lord Shiva. Therefore, Lord Brahma started speaking on behalf of them. Shashanka Shekharam Shivam Prahasma. So Vishnu Chakotipad explains that he says that those who are with Shiva, such as Narada, along with the sages, they offered respects to Brahma. Maharishi refers to different sages headed by Narada Muni, and all these people offered respects to Brahma. Then Brahma spoke to Lord Shiva, who was offered respects by the Devatas. Although the Devatas were internally fearful, but externally they showed joyful faces. This is what Vishnu Chakotipad says. Prahasan Iva Atmabhuhu. All the Devatas, they offered obeisances to Lord Shiva. They were fearful internally. Because they had witnessed how the followers of Lord Shiva had completely destroyed the sacrifice of Daksha. They had witnessed the anger of Lord Shiva. Therefore, the Devatas were fearful internally, but they showed joyful faces externally. Sometimes our life situations are like that actually. Sometimes the particular situation, one may be anxious internally, but he may have to show a happy face externally. For example, I'll give one example from the Bhagavatam itself. The 10th canto, Kamsa was about to kill Devaki when he heard that the 8th son of Devaki will be the cause of his death. So at that time, Vasudev started speaking to Kamsa just on the day of the marriage. Kamsa was personally driving the chariot and he heard this unembodied voice that the 8th son of Devaki will be the cause of his death. So immediately Kamsa, he took up the sword and he was about to behead Devaki. And Vasudev started speaking to Kamsa. And he gave a short Bhagavad Gita course. The difference between body and soul, the karma principle. On the spot, composing his mind, thinking of different analogies. He spoke such a very difficult place to give a Gita course actually. To a person like Kamsa. But Kamsa was not pacified by the words of Vasudev. He was determined to kill Devaki. So at that time, Vasudev, with a smiling face, he started speaking to Kamsa. Drishtva samatvam tachaure satye chaiva vyavasthitim Kamsas tushtamana rajan prahasan idam abravit. Prahasan idam abravit. Vasudev, with a smiling face, he spoke as follows. Vasudev, that Vasudev, who is Satye Chaiva Vyavasthitam, who is situated in truthfulness and who was completely equipoised, spoke to Kamsa with a smiling face. So Prabhupada says that actually Vasudev was so steadily equipoised that he did not seem in the least agitated when delivering his firstborn child into the hands of Kamsa to be killed. This shloka. So comes Vasudev did not appear that he was actually he was speaking with a smiling face, but internally Vasudev was very much in anxiety. Internally Vasudev was in great anxiety, but externally he had to show a he had to show a pleasing face. Externally he had to show a pleasing face, and with that external pleasing face he started speaking to Kansa. So we see that how one has to act diplomatically in this world. Although diplomacy is to be avoided. Diplomacy means thinking one thing and then speaking something else. But Vasudev had to act diplomatically. Actually, this is the shloka. Prasanna vadanam bojo nishamsam nirapatrapam manasa duyamanena vikasan idam abravit. 10.1.53. So Vasudev's mind was full of anxiety. But why? Because his wife was in danger. But in order to please the cruel and the shameless, sinful Kamsa, he externally smiled and spoke to Kamsa as follows. So Vasudev's mind was filled with anxiety, but he had to be diplomatic. Externally, he had to speak in a pleasing way to Kamsa, because he is speaking to a person who is very cruel and sinful. So oftentimes one may have to sometimes act diplomatically in this world, uh, especially dealing with people who have very cunning intention. So here the devatas were also extremely fearful inside, internally, but they showed joyful faces externally. So Brahmaji started speaking to Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada says that Brahma was smiling because he knew that Lord Shiva is not only easily satisfied but also easily irritated as well. So Brahma was afraid that Lord Shiva might be in an angry mood because he had lost his wife recently. But in order to conceal this fear, he smiled and addressed Lord Shiva as follows. So from the next shloka, Brahma starts speaking to Lord Shiva. Jane tva Brahmovacha.
ब्रह्मोवाच
जाने त्वामीशमीश्वस्य
जाने त्वाम् ईशं विश्वस्य
जगतो योनि बीजयोः
जगतो योनिबीजयोः
शक्ते शिवस्य च परम्
सक्ते शिवस्य च परम्
यत्तद् ब्रह्म निरन्तरम्.
यत्तद्ब्रह्मनिरन्तरम्. Translation. Lord Brahma said, My dear Lord Shiva, I know that you are the controller of the entire material manifestation, the combination father and mother of the cosmic manifestation, and the supreme Brahman beyond the cosmic manifestation as well. I know you in that way.
So here, first Lord Brahma glorifies Lord Shiva. Jane tvam isham vishwasya. So Sridhar Swami says that Brahma is giving the Anvaya of the shloka. Tvam, you, Vishwasya Isham Jane. You are the Ishvara of the whole universe. I understand that. Jagato Yonihi. Jagato Yonihi. You are the seed of the universe. Shaktihi. Bijam cha Shivaha. Tayoho Param Yattat Nirantaram Brahma. You are the Ishvara of the universe. You are the seed of the universe. And you are actually superior to the Prakriti and Purusha. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says that I know you are the Lord of the universe, Tvam Isham, and you are the Lord of the Prakriti and Purusha. You are the Lord of the Prakriti and Purusha, and you are superior to Shakti and Shiva. And that you are also the Brahman without qualities. Yattat Brahma Nirantaram. So Brahma is glorifying Lord Shiva. Here Vishwanath Chakravarti mentions an important comment. Previously, Lord Shiva offered obeisances to Brahma, just 2 verses before. So Brahma is saying, although you offered respects to me, but I understand that you are more powerful. I understand that you are more powerful than me. So Brahmaji is speaking this shloka by taking the mood of a Shaivayite. By taking the mood of a Shaivayite, in these two shlokas, it will, in these 2-3 shlokas, we'll see, it will appear as if that Lord Shiva is the independent supreme personality of God. So Lord Brahma is speaking like that by taking the mood of a Shaivite in order to please Lord Shiva. We will also see in the next chapter, 7th chapter. So in this particular section of this chapter, all these devatas along with Lord Brahma, they glorify Lord Shiva as if he is the supreme Bhagavan. But we will see in the next chapter when Lord Brahma, devatas and all the rishis along with Lord Shiva, when they get darshan of Lord Vishnu, how they will glorify Lord Vishnu, all of them together. So in this particular situation, Lord Vishnu is not present. Next chapter, we will see that Lord Vishnu will also appear. So Lord Brahma is actually speaking the shloka by taking the mentality of a Shaivayite. So the Shaivayites think of the Lord Prakriti and Purusha as the form of Sadashiva. So they feel that Lord Shiva is the something like independent supreme personality of God. So Shaivites think like that. So Lord Brahma is speaking the shloka in that mood, by taking that mood, because he wants to pacify Lord Shiva. So the Lord of the whole universe, composed of Prakriti and Purusha, because I know that you are superior to Prakriti and Purusha of the material world. The next shloka, further he continues to glorify Lord Shiva. The Prabhupada in this purport says that although Brahma had received respectful obeisances from Shiva, he knew that Shiva was in more exalted position than himself. So Lord Shiva's position described in the Brahma Samhita, Kshiram yata dadivikara vishesha yoga sanjayate nakitata pratagasti heto yash shambhutam abhitata samupaiti karyat govindam adipurusham tamaham bhaja. We had discussed many times previously also that one who considers Lord Shiva to be completely different from Vishnu, he is committing an offense. And one who considers Lord Shiva to be identical to Vishnu, he is also committing an offense. Therefore, the right understanding of Lord Shiva is that Lord Shiva is simultaneously different from Vishnu and also one with Vishnu. Just like curd is one with milk because it comes from milk. At the same time, it is different from the milk. At the same time, it is different from the milk. So that is the right understanding of Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu. Next shloka. Twameva bhagavannetach
Tvameva bhagavanne tvacha
Shiva Shaktyo Swarupayoh
Shiva Shaktyo Swarupayo
Vishwam Srijasi Pasyatsi
Vishwam Srujasi Patsyatsi
Kridan Urnapato Yata.
Kridan Nurnapato Yatha. My dear Lord, you create this cosmic manifestation, maintain it, and annihilate it by expansion of your personality, exactly as a spider creates, maintains, and winds up its web.
So here Brahma is saying that Hey Bhagavan, Tvameva Shivashakyoho Sarupayoho Kridan Etat Vishwam Srijasi Yasi Atsi Kridan Urnapato Yata. You only create this world, maintain this world, and destroy the universe. Just like a spider acts upon his web. So Brahmaji is glorifying Lord Shiva by taking the mood of a Shaivayite, the follower of Lord Shiva. So in this purport also Prabhupada says that in this verse the word Shiva Shakti is significant. Shiva Shakti, Shiva means auspicious. There are many types of energies of the Lord and all of them are auspicious. So Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva are the Gunavataras. In the material world, we compare these different incarnations from different angles of vision. But since all of them are expansions of the Supreme Auspicious, all of them are auspicious. Although sometimes we consider one quality of nature to be higher or lower than another. So Tamoguna is lower than Rajoguna, which is lower than Sattvaguna. So in that way, there is a gradation is there. But at the same time, because they are all expansions of the Supreme Lord, they are all auspicious. So, for example, the government has a criminal department, government has an educational department. So somebody may think that so the criminal department is inauspicious. Or somebody may say the municipality cleaning department is inauspicious. Municipality cleaning department is inauspicious. Or criminal department is inauspicious. But from the point of view of the government, the criminal department or the cleaning department is as important as the education department. So similarly, that from one point of view, because there is a gradation in the three gunas, Rajoguna, Tamoguna and Sattvaguna. From one point of view, there is a gradation. But from the point of view of the Lord, all these three Gunavataras, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, all of them are auspicious. But of course, it is also explained in the Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter. First canto, second chapter, I will recite that shloka. First canto, second chapter, verse number 20. Verse number 23, I think. Yeah, verse number 23. Sattvam rajastamayati prakritir gunastair yukta para purusha eka ihasya datthe sthityadaye hari virinchi hareti samya shreyamsi tatra khalu sattva tanor nrinamsyu. In the shloka it is said, the transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes of material nature, namely passion, ignorance, and goodness. The transcendental personality of Godhead is indirectly associated with the three modes. And just for this, for the material world's creation, maintenance, and destruction, he is indirectly associated with the three modes. So he accepts the three qualitative forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Of the three forms, all the human beings can derive the ultimate benefit from Vishnu, the form of the quality of goodness. Sthityadaye harivirinchi hareti samya shreyamsi tatra khalu sattvatanor nrinamsyu. So out of the three forms, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, a living entity can derive the ultimate benefit from worshipping Lord Vishnu. That is what explained there. We will go to the next shloka. त्वमेव धर्मार्थ दुगाभिपत्तये
त्वमेव धर्मार्थ दुगाभिपत्ये
दक्षेण सूत्रेण ससर्जिताद्वरम्
दक्षेण सूत्रेण ससर्जित आध्वरम्
त्वयैव लोके वसिताश्च सेतवो
त्वयैव लोके वसिताश्च सेतवो
यान् ब्राह्मणा श्रद्ददत्ते धृतव्रताः
यान् ब्राह्मणा श्रद्धत्ते धृतव्रताः. Translation. My dear Lord, your Lordship has introduced the system of sacrifices through the agency of Daksha, and thus one may derive the benefits of religious activities and economic development. Under your regulative principles, the institution of the four varnas and ashramas is respected. The Brahmanas therefore vow to follow this system strictly.
So we will see starting from this shloka, the first two shlokas he glorified Shiva. So starting from this shloka, Brahmaji will offer some 5 or 6 arguments. Not argument, or 5 or 6 points. We will see that. So the first point is that Tvameva Dharmartha Dugabhipattaye. You only, in order to perform dharma and in order to obtain artha, Dharmartha Dugabhipattaye. धर्म और अर्थ की प्राप्ति करने वाले. So in order to perform dharma and in order to obtain artha, the Vedas give different methods. It is mentioned in the Vedas how to perform dharma and how to obtain artha. And the Vedas give different forms of sacrifice by which one can obtain artha, by which one can fulfill one's desires by performing dharma. So Brahma is saying that Tvam eva dharmartha dugavipattaye dakshena sutrena advaran sasarjitaha. You have only created the system of sacrifice through daksha. आपने ही धर्म और अर्थ की प्राप्ति कराने वाले वेद की रक्षा के लिए दक्ष को निमित्त बनाकर यज्ञ को प्रकट किया है. You have only created the system of sacrifice by making Daksha as the nimitta. So, and then he says that Tvaya eva cha loke setavaha avasitaha yan dhritavrataha brahmanaha shradadate. So, you have only created the system of the varnashram, which gives different guidelines for the different people, what duties they must perform. So the Brahmanas, they perform their duties according to the varnashram, and you have created the system of varnashram. In this, Brahma is glorifying that the point of Brahma is that so he says that the respect for the varnashram system in the world has been created by you. And you created the sacrifice like the weaving of the cloth. Sutrena means the sutra is the thread. You created the sacrifice like the weaving of the cloth through Daksha for the performance of Artha as part of Dharma. But now Daksha is dead now. Now since Daksha is dead, you only created the system of sacrifice through Daksha. And now since Daksha is dead, because of the absence of somebody to initiate Dharma, to initiate the Yajna, because Daksha is dead, the sacrifice which he was performing, that has been destroyed. Now there is, in the absence of Daksha, now there is nobody to again initiate the sacrifice. So therefore, there will be misfortune for the whole world. This is the first argument of the Brahma. Now, because since Daksha is dead, there is nobody who can initiate the performance of sacrifice. Dharma is destroyed. So therefore, now there will be misfortune for the world. This is the first point Brahma is saying. So we see here that Lord Shiva is actually the son of Brahma. But Brahmaji understands that Lord Shiva is actually more exalted than me. Therefore, he is glorifying Lord Shiva in that manner. Just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Mukunda Datta, is Raghunandan your father or your son? Raghunandan is actually the son of Mukunda Datta. But the answer Mukunda gave was that Raghunandan is my father because that our whole family is inspired by the devotion exhibited by Raghunandan. Whoever inspires us with the devotion to Krishna, such a person is the father, such a person is a guru. Therefore, we consider Raghunandan as our father. So Mahaprabhu was very happy with that explanation. So here, Brahmaji, we see in this particular section, Brahmaji plays the role of a mediator. Brahmaji, in the beginning of this chapter, he chastised the Devatas. Having offended a personality like Lord Shiva, what do you expect? You must go and beg forgiveness from Lord Shiva. That is how we chastise the Devata. But now when he is coming in front of Lord Shiva, he glorified Lord Shiva and then he is saying that now since Daksha is dead, there is nobody to again initiate the sacrifice. Now there will be misfortune for the world. So essentially he is pleading to Lord Shiva, please revive Daksha so that the sacrifice can be started again. So the sacrifice can be started again. So the same Brahma is actually now he's pleading to Lord Shiva to reduce the punishment to Daksha and other personalities which were given by Lord Shiva's followers. So once when Prabhupada was in Juhu, some of the devotees, some of the maybe Indian devotees or something, they came and complained to Prabhupada. Indian devotees, some devotees came and complained to Prabhupada, say that your Western devotees are spending lot of money. Everywhere they go only by taxi and they are spending lot of money. They are wasting money. Like that they come and complain to Prabhupada. So Prabhupada Prabhupada told those devotees, Prabhupada did not tell the devotee that his Western devotees were making mistakes. Rather, Prabhupada told them, see, these Western devotees, they have come from the West, they are staying in India, they are staying in very difficult circumstances. Prabhupada told about the austerities performed by Western devotees. Because at that time in the Jugu, it was infested with the mosquitoes and very meager facilities were there. Yeah, Western devotees, when they come to India, because of the climate and different things, they undergo lot of actually austerities. Like the water and the climate, language, many things did not suit them. So Prabhupada told them how these Western devotees, they perform, they had to adjust to so many things, they perform so many austerities coming to India. Like that, Prabhupada spoke to them. He tried to tell those the complaining devotees to see the good part of the austerities performed by the Western devotees. So after that, Prabhupada then he gave a Bhagavatam class. And in the Bhagavatam class, he spoke that how money should be utilized for the service of Krishna. We should be very careful that we should not use a single penny for our own sense gratification. We should use it in the service of Krishna. Like that, in the Bhagavatam class, he gave the general message also, where all the Western devotees were also present. So Prabhupada gave that message of not spending money in an extravagant manner, of using every penny for service of Krishna. At the same time, Prabhupada also told those campaigning devotees to see the austerities performed by the Western devotees. The Prabhupada spoke uh, in a very balanced manner. He was expert in dealing with the different people. Similarly, Lord Brahma spoke to the Devatas about the Vaishnava Aparad. But now in this section, to Lord Shiva, Brahmaji will speak about the forgiveness to Lord Shiva. Please forgive Daksha. Please revive Daksha. So Lord Brahma is an expert leader, expert mediator. He is keeping the overall picture in mind. One of the very important quality of the leader is that the leader has to keep the larger picture in one's mind. Larger picture has to be kept in the mind. That is the one of the important quality of a leader. Leadership means to have the larger picture in mind. So Lord Brahma is exhibiting his leadership by keeping the larger picture in mind, which is the welfare of the universe. So punishment to one person, Daksha, should not result in the cruelty to the whole universe or to a larger society. So here punishment to Daksha has resulted in the stopping of the sacrifice, which will do welfare for the whole universe. So keeping in mind the larger picture of the welfare of the universe, Brahma is pleading with Lord Shiva to revive Daksha so that the sacrifice can be revived. So similarly, just like cruelty or a punishment to one person should not result in cruelty to the whole universe. So similarly, compassion to one person should also not result in cruelty to the larger society. When we show punishment or compassion to a person, we should keep in mind the larger picture of the welfare of the larger society. While either showing punishment to one person, it should not result in the cruelty to the larger society. Similarly, also while showing compassion to one person, it should not result in cruelty to the larger society. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is about. Arjuna wanted to forgive the Kauravas. He did not want to fight the battle. Yadimam apratikaram ashastram shastrapanayah Dhartarashtra Rane Hanyus Tanme Kshema Taram Bhave. I don't want to fight the battle. Even if they come and fight me, I don't want to lift my weapons. The Arjuna wanted to forgive them. But the forgiveness or the soft-heartedness or the compassion of Arjuna towards the Kauravas compassion of Arjuna towards the Bhishma and Drona, it will result in cruelty to the larger society, because the society then will be ruled by a person like Duryodhana. So therefore, when we show punishment or a loyalty or a compassion towards a single person, we should keep the larger society in mind. People receive some freebies from certain political parties, and then they vote for those political parties without keeping the larger picture in mind. If these leaders come to power, how will they exploit the larger society? How will they actually? How it will not be good for the larger country? People, not only uneducated people, even the educated people. There are educated people who say that, oh, I'm paying so much of taxes, but I'm not getting any benefit of it. So therefore, I don't want to vote for this party. Who is in power for 10 years. So the whole picture is about the very short picture of their own benefit. They don't see the larger picture of the society, which will be good for the larger society. They are not able to see that. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, apparently he showed very strict punishment to Chota Haridas. Chota Haridas, Mahaprabhu did not want to give his audience to Chota Haridas, although the devotees were pleading on behalf of Chota Haridas. Because Mahaprabhu wanted to set a right example of what the behavior of a person in the renounced order, the society should be. At that time, the Varnashram system was very much intact. If Lord Chaitanya had shown compassion to Chota Haridas, it would have been a cruelty to the larger society. So therefore, the compassion to an individual person should be shown by keeping the larger society in mind. Krishna also asked Bhishma, the Bhishma's father, Shantanu Maharaj. He was attracted to a Satyavati, who is the daughter of a fisherman. And but then, so Shantanu Maharaj wanted to marry her. But then the Satyavati's father told Shantanu Maharaj, but I will give my daughter in marriage to you on one condition, that the son who will be born through my daughter, he should become the king. So it is a very, sometimes the people, they try to, he's an ordinary fisherman. Now his daughter is going to be the queen of the whole kingdom. Like he should be happy with that. But he was expecting, he was greedy more. He was even more greedy that at that time Shantanu Maharaj already had a grown-up son in the form of the Devavrata, Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev was very qualified. Devavrata was very qualified. And he had all the good qualities. But still, Satyavati's father was very greedy that only the son born through my daughter should become the king. So he put this condition. So Shantanu Maharaj was morose on hearing the condition. So Devavrata came to know about this through other sources. So Devavrata, Bhishma Dev, in order to facilitate his father's desire to marry Satyavati, he took the vow that I will not become the king. And he took the second vow, I will not even get married. I will not even get married and I will not become the king. In one sense, so from one point of view, we may glorify Bhishma Deswa, but if we see from another angle, Bhishma Dev, to facilitate the karma of one person, his father, Bhishma Dev, he gave up his responsibility towards his larger kingdom. Because as the prince, it is his responsibility to become the king, the next king. But he gave up his responsibility, which is towards the larger kingdom, for the sake of for facilitating the karma of his father. So from this point of view, like Krishna was questioning this decision of Bhishma. How is this decision correct? That you took this vow to facilitate the karma of one person, for that sake you gave up the larger responsibility towards the kingdom. Krishna himself questioned Bhishma. Another example, if you see, Yadu Maharaj. Yadu was asked by his father Yayati to give his youth in exchange for his old age. Yadu was also asked by his father. His father wanted to enjoy. His father Yayati was cursed by Shukracharya to lose his youth. But then Shukracharya gave him a concession. Okay, if you can exchange your old age with the youth of one of your sons, then you can enjoy the youth. Like that, he gave a concession in the curse. So Yadu, then he approached his eldest son Yadu. Can you give your youth in exchange of my old age? But Yadu refused to follow the order of his father. For what sake? Why he refused to follow the order of his father? Because Yadu knew that in the future, Krishna will appear in my dynasty. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is going to appear in my dynasty. And the appearance of the Supreme Lord, one minute. The appearance of the Supreme Lord will benefit the entire universe. So Yadu Maharaj did not want to delay the appearance of the Supreme Lord in his dynasty. He knew that if I give my youth in exchange of the old age of my father will enjoy the youth for a long time, and then he will return the youth back to me. But then after gaining my youth back, which will be after many years later, then I will get a chance to procreate. I will get a chance to expand my dynasty. So it will further delay in the appearance of Krishna. So keeping the larger picture in mind about the welfare of the whole universe, he didn't want to delay the appearance of Krishna, and for that sake, he refused to follow the order of his father. So therefore, the loyalty to an individual person. So this person has given me food. इनका नमक मैंने खाया हूं. So therefore, I should be loyal to him. But even that person may be involved in a criminal activity towards a larger society. But we don't see that. But he has actually fed me. He has fed me the salt. So therefore, I have to be loyal to him. Thinking like that, and then you forget you fail to see the larger picture, the society. That is how many people, common people, in many situations of our life, without seeing the larger picture of the society, we make decisions based on individual affection towards a particular person or an individual hatred towards a particular person or an individual loyalty towards a particular person. So therefore, so therefore, Brahma is telling to Lord Shiva that you have your followers have killed Daksha Prajapati, but then you have only started the system of sacrifice for the welfare of the universe by by keeping Daksha as the nimitta. But now since Daksha is destroyed, how can the sacrifice be revived? So there is misfortune for the whole universe. So therefore, please reduce your punishment to Daksha. Please revive Daksha, keeping the larger picture of the universe, society in mind. So in that way, Brahmaji is speaking this shloka, and I'll just go through Prabhupada's purport and then we'll end the class. The Vedic system of Varna and Ashram is never to be neglected because these divisions are created by the Supreme Lord himself for the upkeep of the social and religious order in human society. So the Brahmanas must vow to steadily respect this regulative principle. The tendency in the age of Kali is to make a classless society and not follow the Varnashram system. That is a communistic tendency, actually. So people either the communists, they try to create a classless society. We had discussed a few weeks back also. Or there are political parties, they try to maintain the caste in the Hindu society in order to keep the Hindus perpetually divided. They try to keep a Asuric Varnashram society. They try to keep the caste by birth and keep the Hindus divided. And they will not talk about the caste in the other Muslims or Christians. They want to make them united and Hindus as divided based on some artificial caste system. This also we see. And then another side we see communists, they try to create a classless society. The destruction of the social and spiritual orders will not bring fulfillment of the idea of a classless society. One should strictly observe the principles of Varna and Ashram for the satisfaction of the Creator. Atap Pumbur Dvijasreshta Varnashrama Vibhagashaha Swanishtitasya Dharmasya Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. The Varnashram principles have to be executed for the pleasure of Krishna. So they should act according to the regulative principles of the institution and satisfy the Lord. Yayesham Purusham Sakshat Atma Prabhavam Ishwaram Na Bhajanti Avajananti Sthanad Brashtad Patantyada. Those people from the Varnashram system, if they fail to respect the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then they will fall down from their position. So all the parts of the Varnashram system, all the Varnas and all the Ashramas, they have emanated from the different bodily parts of the universal form of the Lord. So they are supposed to work cooperatively for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Just like in our body, different parts are there. Eyes, legs, hands, and nostrils, and all the parts are supposed to work cooperatively for the service of the whole body. So as long as they are engaged in the service of the complete whole, their position is secure. Otherwise, they fall down from their respective positions and become degraded. So Brahmaji is telling to Lord Shiva that You have only created the system of sacrifice through Daksha. Now, since Daksha is dead, who can revive the sacrifice? And this will be misfortune for the universe. So essentially, we discussed the point that how punishment and compassion should be administered by keeping punishment and compassion to an individual person should be administered by keeping the larger society in mind. Sometimes when people show compassion to a great criminal, it will be cruelty to the larger society. When they show sometimes a punishment to a person, he might have done some certain mistake, but when you give over punishment to that person, and that same person may also be engaged in the welfare of the larger society, and he might have committed a mistake. But when you overly punish such a person, it will also be cruel to the larger society. Daksha did commit a mistake, definitely. But Brahma's point is that he has been punished more than required. You have completely killed Daksha. So therefore, that is actually not proper because now the sacrifice is stopped. Daksha was also engaged in performing the pious activity sacrifices, which was doing welfare to the universe. And he did commit a mistake, but then the punishment you have given to Daksha is more than necessary. It is more actually. Please reduce the punishment and please revive Daksha so that the society's welfare can be continued. So that is the theme. And we will see some more verses, very wonderful verses, some of the further verses we will see. In next class, we'll complete this chapter. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any questions, they can.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Bol.
Hare Bol.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Prabhuji, in the family where people are practicing your devotional service, the sadhakas, so sometimes to correct the person, sometimes we also sometimes say something, shout upon them, scream on them. So how this is considered as an offense and how much severe is it? Because as per Sripad Ramanujacharya, the regarding the 10 offenses which I have heard that if the family member is also devotee, then one can't treat him like, oh, he is my family member, so I can say anything to him. So how to
See, people in the position of a parents, the guardians, or the teachers, or the gurus, they have the authority to correct the people under them.
Hmm.
They have the authority to correct the people under them. The parents, in order to correct the children, they can sometimes chastise and punish.
Hmm.
The guru also has authority to give punishment or chastisement to the disciple for the benefit of the other person. Yeah, just that the principle of Chanakya Niti's point about the parenting, Lalayet Panchavarshani, Dashavartani, Varshani Thadayet, till 5 years, has to show unconditional affection to the children. And then the next 10 years, one should discipline the children. The
Yes.
timing is important, but after that, one should be more friendly to the children.
Hmm.
But so generally, in the modern times, when there's a time for disciplining, when they don't discipline, when they give only freedom to the children, and then they become completely spoiled. And then when there is a time for giving unconditional affection in the first 5 years, at that time, when you don't give unconditional affection, and you don't give unconditional affection, then if, for example, one devotee was sharing that something, he said in his own family, uh, so both the husband and wife were working in one of his family related, and they were not the mother was not able to take care of the child. Even the mother's breast milk, she would store it in some bottle or something, and that will be later given by the caretaker to the child. Because mother, she
Mm.
goes to the office and then is not able to feed the child when it is required. The child is hungry. So like that, the affection to the child is compromised because of the sometimes
Mm.
certain duties which we impose upon ourselves. Actually, so when the unconditional affection is not provided in the beginning years, that will affect the growth of the children. At the same time, and also when the disciplining is not given during the time when it is supposed to be given, and that will also lead to the spoiling of the children. The parents have the authority to discipline the child. It has to be combined with disciplining and also affection. Affection plus discipline both have to be there.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Prabhu. And Prabhu, one more observation regarding this punishing more than required. So the welfare of the society is disturbed. So just one observation that, but in the case of Shringi, when he over punished Parikshit Maharaj, so the Srimad Bhagavatam came out, which is for the whole welfare of the society. So this is the story.
Of course, he
Uh,
didn't know that Bhagavatam is going to come up.
yeah, but
From the
that we
point
have
of
to
view of
listen.
Shringi, he
Yeah,
became
yeah,
very
yes.
arrogant and he cursed Parikshit Maharaj to die within 7 days for a small mistake. Very
Yes, and Shamik
personality,
Rishi
Parikshit
was
Maharaj.
saying, Shamik Rishi was also not happy with us. We have to take that learning. Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Questions, we'll stop here. Next week we'll continue next week will be this chapter will complete it. Correct. ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय,
Thank you very much.
गौर भक्त की जय.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.